board, and you're going to go to page 151. Yeah, spring break is pretty awesome. And then it's always quick after that, man. It goes by fast after spring break. So, all right, we're talking about adjectives today. In week 3, we talked about adjectives way back at the beginning, that they describe a noun or a pronoun. Often, 2 or more adjectives come before a noun. Week 25, which was last week, you learned that adjectives are coordinate if each adjective independently describes the noun. And remember how we had a little test? If you can reverse the order or if you can put and between it, then you know that they're coordinate and you need to put commas between. Because the order of the coordinate adjectives is not important, the adjectives are separated with a comma. That's coordinate adjectives. And today we're talking about cumulative adjectives, another type of adjective. Yay! All right, cumulative, and you might have heard that word before, like cumulative test. Cumulative just means like from the beginning. Like if you take a cumulative test, it would be like everything you learned this year so far. That would be a massive test, right? Kind of like the state test, kind of. It's honestly like that, where it just tests you on everything you've learned. So if the first adjective describes the second adjective and the noun that follows, that's what it does. That's the cumulative. Cumulative adjectives follow this specific order: quantity, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose. And I'm going to show you a video about this in a minute, which will help you get it in your head, that order of adjectives. So in English, there is a specific order to how we write these adjectives when they're cumulative. Because cumulative adjectives must be arranged in a specific order, the adjectives are not separated with a comma. So these are just going to list the adjectives. Okay, so no comma for cumulative. 2 tests help determine whether the adjectives before a noun are coordinate or cumulative. So these are the tests I just mentioned a minute ago. Can you reverse their order? Can you put and between them? If you answer yes, the adjectives are coordinate. Use a comma. If you answer no, the adjectives are cumulative. Do not use a comma. And here's an example. They entered the immense green forest. The 2 adjectives are immense and green. They describe the forest. Are they coordinate adjectives? Do they need a comma? Here's the test. Reverse the order. Can you say the green immense forest? No, not really. That sounds weird. The green immense forest? You cannot reverse the order because size, immense is size, huge, comes before color. Green is the color. So can you add and between them? Can you say immense and green forest? Not really. It doesn't sound as good, so you cannot add and. So that's just confirming they're cumulative adjectives, so you do not need a comma. So they entered the immense green forest. And then immense and green are cumulative adjectives, are not separated with a comma. And here's an example, though, down here. Marian was a brave young maiden. These 2 are different. If I reverse them and say Marian was a young brave maiden, it sounds okay. Marian was a brave and young maiden. But young is telling age. That's how, not literally like years age, but it tells like how old she is. She's young. And then brave is telling like an opinion about her, that she's brave. So opinion and age, those are in 2 separate categories. So this would be considered cumulative. I know it's a little tricky because sometimes it sounds okay. It's like, well, it sounds okay if you say Marian was a brave and young maiden, but technically it doesn't sound good. You have to see if they're in the same category, and we're going to talk about that next. So hang in there with me. If you don't understand yet, it's okay. Hang in there. Go to page 152. Here's a chart. Right next to that word quantity, by the way, do you see the categories here? Quantity, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose. These are the categories of adjectives. Right next to quantity in the space over here, I want you to write determiner. So go ahead and write determiner right here. Right next to where it says quantity. And I'll tell you why in a second. Let me zoom in so you guys can see that better. So determiner or quantity, they basically mean the same thing. This is talking about how many. 3, several, few. Opinion, proficient, funny, smart. Those are all opinions. Size, long, small, or huge. These are examples. Age, old, young, ancient. Shape, circular, curvy, square. Color, red, blue, green. Origin, that's where it's from, like what country it's from. English, like from England. African, Catholic. Those are examples of origin. Material, wooden, plastic, cotton, glass. Those are the examples of material. And then the purpose, like a bullseye. That's the bullseye target or frying pan or baseball glove. So it's telling what type or purpose for it. All right, so keep that in mind. I'm going to show you a video. And Alex, we're on page 152, but I'm going to show you this video. It's from Khan Academy. So I know some of you have heard about that before. So let me share this and then we'll talk more about it.
So, grammarians, if you're a native English speaker, the phrase French old white house might seem a little weird to you. If you're not a native English speaker, it might not. And this is something that I didn't really know about before I started preparing to teach this course, is that there is a specific order that adjectives go in English. This is something that I think we just pick up as English speakers, but if you didn't grow up speaking English, it gets a little tricky sometimes. So the question is, in order to make this seem right, what order do you put these adjectives in? I'm as near about as I can reckon it, making this into the old white French house. Because there is an order and it goes like this. Determiner, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose. Or for short, dosascomp. Dosascomp. Oh, okay. That's actually kind of a thing. So a dosa is a South Indian flatbread, and scomp, I'm gonna say, is a word for eating. It's not a word, that's a made-up word, but dosascomp. It sounds like scarf to me. Or chomp. And both of those are verbs that can denote eating, as well as scarf being a garment. So, dosascomp. I just want you to imagine sitting down to a delicious South Indian meal and scomping on some dosas. So, dosascomp. Determiner, and that's words like the or an. Opinion, this is, when you're describing something, there are certain descriptors that not everyone would agree with. So if you're looking at a piece of black metal, everyone will be able to agree that it is black. But if you think it's cool looking or ugly looking, anything that anyone could conceivably disagree about, that's an opinion. So, cool, for example, that would be an opinion. Size, so the cool, big, old, square, black. An origin usually can be, where it's from. So let's say Texan, and then, okay, so we have material, so let's say leather, because leather can be black, and then purpose. This is sort of where we would use what's called a participle or a gerundive to determine what the thing is for. So if we were talking about, I don't know, a lawnmower that you ride around on, right? That's called a riding mower. Right, and the last thing here is the thing itself. So we're looking at, okay, so this thing is the cool, big, old, square, black Texan leather riding mower. But frankly, in most normal English sentences, you're probably never going to use more than 3 adjectives to describe a given thing, like old white French house. Now, sometimes you might find yourself using more than one adjective that fits into the same category. So you might say the exciting, unparalleled green dragon. And you'll notice I put a comma there because when you use 2 adjectives from the same category, so 2 opinions, the exciting and unparalleled, you want to separate them with a comma. But generally, if you're just scooting down the Dosascump, old white French house, you don't need to separate these non-coordinate adjectives from each other. And we'll get more into commas in the punctuation section. But for now, all you need to remember is Dosascump. And if you've never had a dosa, I strongly urge you to look up recipes online, go to a South Indian restaurant, and make and eat this delicious food. And then you're just going to scomp on some dosas. So determiner, opinion, size, age, dosa, shape, color, origin, material, purpose, and then the thing. That's the order that adjectives go in English. Why is this? I have no idea. Sometimes language can be really... the word I tend to use is arbitrary. You can call it random if you like. This is just the way that we've arrived at this order is just basically through random chance and convention and what seems to sound right. And what sounds right for English isn't always what sounds right for other languages. For example, the way we're using adjectives here, we're always putting them to the left of whatever they modify. The exciting, paralleled green dragon. It's all to the left. It's all old white French house. It's all, on this one side of it. And other languages don't do that necessarily. So when you're trying to just throw a bunch of adjectives together on the left side of a noun, this is the order. Just remember, Dosascamp. And that's how adjective order works in English. You can learn anything. David out.
Okay. So it's just kind of a fun way to, oops, let me make sure that's, okay, cool. To memorize the order of these adjectives, and he went through the same order that's on your grammar page 152 where we're at here. So determiner, that's why I had you guys write that. I just want you to circle the D in determiner, the O in opinion, the S in size, the A in age, the S in shape, C color, O origin, M material, and P purpose. And you'll see it spells Dosascamp. It's kind of like fanboys or www.asia. It's another thing that you can remember, the order of adjectives that are cumulative. Okay, so on the side here, let's just put Dosascamp to help you remember that. Okay. And then down here, it's talking a little bit more about cumulative adjectives. They build on each other. So Robin was a skilled English archer. He practiced with several proficient young men. If someone said he practiced with young, proficient, several men, your ear would tell you that that was wrong. That doesn't sound right. Young, proficient, several men. That is why the tests work. We have been trained to hear and say adjectives in a certain order, and if you try to rearrange the order of the adjectives, it sounds awkward. Robin was a skilled English archer. Skilled comes before English because opinion comes before origin. If you look at this Dosascamp. He practiced with several proficient young men. So quantity, several, comes before opinion, proficient, and opinion comes before age, young. They shot long wooden arrows. Size, long, comes before material, wooden. And then they aimed at a circular bullseye target. So shape, circular, comes before purpose, bullseye. So the other thing that the video talked about was when you have two adjectives or three adjectives that come from the same category. Remember the green, wait, what did he say? The exciting, unparalleled green dragon. And he was talking about the two exciting and unparalleled. Those would be considered opinions. If they're coming from the same category, that's coordinate. That's the other type of adjective. So there's only two when you list them. It's either coordinate or cumulative. Coordinate adjectives, you could put a comma. You need to put a comma between. That's when you can reverse them and put and between. But if they stick to this order, and you'll see it now that you know this, you're going to start noticing it in writing too. If they stick to this order, then you don't need a comma. All right, I think the best way to do this is just to keep going and practice with this. So unless anybody has any questions right now, I'm going to move on. Any questions about cumulative adjectives? All right, let's go to 153. Let me move this around here. And then Tyler, how about you read the sentence today?
Robin instructed Will Stutley to make a target from smooth white bark, which measured 4 fingers in height and 5 fingers in width.
Okay, good. I think it's pronounced Stutely. I don't know. It's a weird last name, but
Yeah,
you're
it
right.
is a weird last
It's
name. I didn't even think that was the last name at first until I looked at it more.
Yeah, that's his last name. So that kind of helps a little bit. But instructed basically is to teach. So Robin taught Will. His name is Will. All right, so check that. There's one article, find that. And then we have a whopping 8 nouns. So Abby, 8 nouns.
Robin,
Good.
and then Will Stutley.
Okay.
Stutley, whatever
Good.
it is.
Yeah.
Target,
Good.
bark,
Good.
fingers,
Yep.
height,
Yep.
width,
Yep.
and fingers.
And fingers again. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. That was some kind of record right there. All right. How about Kristen? Where are the adjectives? So we've got 4 adjectives. And they're going to be before the nouns. So most of them.
5.
Good. So, and that's a number. So we need to spell that out. So let's spell it out. Five. But you're right. That's an adjective.
4.
Yep. Spell that one out. Good.
Smooth,
Smooth. Yep.
white.
And white. Good. And we're going to talk about smooth and white in a minute, but those are two, and we got to decide if they're coordinate or cumulative. But how about the coordinating conjunction, Reagan? Where is that?
It would be and.
And good. And then I'm going to skip down here to subject verb pair. Let's see. Alex, are you able to see what we're doing here?
Yeah. Can I do
Okay,
the
good.
prepositional phrases?
Go ahead. Do you see where they're at?
Yeah, it's in width,
In width. Yep.
in height,
Yep.
and to make a target. Or no, wait. Yeah, or is it right?
Not
Is it
that
to make
one. That's one of
from
those infinitives. Go ahead.
from smooth white bark?
There you go. From smooth white bark. So to sometimes is a preposition, but since make is a verb, together they make an infinitive.
All
So
right,
we're
we
not even
can't
gonna
have
look
a
at it.
verb in a preposition.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's right. Good. All right. So let's see who we got here for the subject verb. Dominic, you're the lucky winner today. If you can use your mic, I don't know if your mic's working, but can you unmute?
Hello?
Oh, good. I got you. Yes. Where are the verbs at in here? The action words are helping.
Instructed,
Good.
measured,
Good. I think that's it, actually. Let me see. Yep, that's it. So who's doing these things? Who's the subject? There's two subjects here.
robin,
Robin instructed, and then who measured? Or what measured?
white bark. Or,
You're right. However, it is the word which, and it's hard to
oh,
spot that. Yeah, it's because it's referring back to the white bark. That is what measured. So it's which. So the who which clause, Tyler, how about that one?
I had a question. Didn't we say like 30 seconds ago that make was a verb?
We did, but because of this word to make, it changes into
Oh,
an infinitive. That's why we left
infinitive.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
All right.
Those are always confusing, but yeah.
You still want me to do the who which clause or whatever it was?
Yes, please.
All right. Which
Okay.
to the end of height?
Actually, keep going.
Okay, so to the end of width.
Yes. And the reason is because if you stop it there, all that's left is and 5 fingers in width, and that
Oh,
doesn't,
you can't begin it with and.
yeah,
Okay.
and there's not, that isn't anything. So it's got to be part of the who which clause. That's good. And then how
I
about,
just noticed real quick that they
uh-huh.
gave it away. You just had to look for it. On the who which clause, it says in parentheses which.
Oh yeah. That's weird. Normally
That's
it
like
says
the first time I noticed that, or was it would have been using that a long time ago.
very observant. Usually it says W/W, right? That's probably a typo, I think. How about Kristen? Where is the main clause then?
Um, starts at Robin
Yep.
and ends at Bark.
Yes, good. Ends up bark. That's right. That's the main clause. How about the openers, Reagan?
It would be a subject opener, which
Good.
is number one,
Good. Perfect. Good
and
job.
then that's all.
That's it. I know. I thought there was
Yeah.
more than one, but it's just one. Indent, we got that. That's pretty easy. 3 capitals, go ahead and do that part by yourself. Don't forget about Will Stutley, I guess is his name.
Can I get the comma? Can I put the comma?
Yeah, go ahead, Alex.
Is it Robin instructed or Robin?
No, it's not there. I will give you a clue though. It has to do with those adjectives because
Oh, right. It has to be yeah, so take the comma out.
take it out because smooth is actually an opinion. Sounds weird, but it's an opinion. And white is a color. So since those are two different categories for the dosa scomp, opinion and color, there's no comma there. Yeah, I know. Dosa scomp. I saw your chat, Tyler. Yeah, you won't unhear that now, dosa scomp. So it's a good thing when you're doing your grammar homework. So you know.
What is those scump anyways? Cause I wasn't here for like the first 10 minutes.
Oh, you didn't see the whole video?
I mean, I did. I just didn't really understand it.
The first 10 minutes of was just hearing Joseph scroll.
It's an acronym like fanboys that we use to help us remember coordinating conjunction. So it's basically if you look back on page 152, like flip your book over, those the categories right there in that chart, if you look at them going down, and instead of quantity, we're calling that one determiner. That helps us remember dosis comp. So basically determiner, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose.
Please open the door.
Yeah, that spells
Oh,
dosis
sorry.
comp.
I'm sorry. I'm muted.
That's okay. That's just what that was. I just want to make sure you saw that. So put a period at the end, and we already fixed the two numbers. So before you put your grammar book away, though, we're going to do a second lesson because if you came in a little bit late, your homework this week is 2 lessons. of grammar, but we're not having any new writing assignment. That's the good news. You're just doing
Yay.
2 grammars. Yes. So grammar is not too bad. So jump
Oh, no
over to
wonder we're doing the
157.
second lesson.
This one's not so bad. The Dosos Comp one was longer. This one's not so bad.
I have a question.
Yeah,
So we don't have class next week, right?
that's right.
Okay.
And then we do the next week after that. So next week is spring break. There's no class next week. But then after Easter, we're back in class. Okay.
So we just get a week off. What about the whole semester off?
That'd be nice. I wouldn't mind, but I think your parents would be
Yay.
mad.
Aw.
Yeah, your parents still want you guys working, so, and I need to work too, so there you go. All right, so page 157, talking about these 2 openers here, the prepositional, which is number 2, number 5, clausal opener. So a number 2 prepositional opener is a sentence that begins with a prepositional phrase, and then it says, write the pattern for the prepositional opener. The pattern is what we need to make sure that it includes. So it always starts with what? Who knows what a prepositional opener starts with? What should the first word be? Go ahead, Reagan.
A preposition. It can be any preposition. We have prepositions in the back of our book.
Yes, a preposition. So go ahead and write that word preposition here. It has to start with a preposition, and then it has to have, put a plus sign, a noun. That's the pattern. It has to have a preposition plus a noun. Sometimes it's a pronoun, so that can be true too, but most of the time it's a noun. And then in parentheses, I want you to put no verb. In a prepositional phrase, there are no verbs. Only preposition plus noun. And then number 5, clausal opener is a sentence that begins with a WWW word. Here they are: when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because, and contains a subject and a verb. Write the pattern for number 5 clausal. So go ahead and put www.asia.b plus subject plus verb. That's the pattern. So notice 1, no verb for preposition, yes verb for clausal. So any clauses, you already know this, but any clauses, they all have verbs. Main clause, that clause, who, which clause, Asia clause, because clause, that clause. Did I already say that clause? Anyway, there's a bunch. They all are going to have subject verb pairs in those. So some words can begin either a number 2 prepositional opener or a number 5 clausal opener. Always check for a verb. That's the clue right here. Always check for a verb. If there is a verb, it's a clause. That goes with this pattern. If there's no verb, it is a prepositional phrase. It goes with this one. Complete the following sentences using the verbs and nouns on the list or words of your choice. Include a subject, noun, and verb to complete a number 5 clausal opener. Include a noun or article plus noun to complete the number 2 prepositional openers. You may add other words to complete the thought. All right, so we're gonna finish these openers right here on this page. So the first one, beneath blank, Robin laughed. All right, we'll just go around and take turns, and you guys can come up with your own. Tyler, I'm gonna have you start this one off. Beneath what? Robin
Awesome. I
laughed.
was looking at this and I was like, what am I gonna do? Uh, so I use a noun and a verb, right?
Not for a prepositional opener. So it's just gonna
Okay.
be like beneath the blank, Robin laughed.
Okay. Can it just be like anything that doesn't even follow the story?
It can be
I'm just gonna say beneath the cabin then.
beneath the cabin.
That's what first came to mind.
That works. You guys can copy that, or you can put your own. Whatever you guys want to do.
Don't
The
have to have
next
a
one,
preposition though.
So the preposition is beneath. That is the preposition.
Oh, it already starting with it.
Uh-huh. And it already
Okay.
gives you the to, so it tells you what opener it is. So beneath is already there. That's the preposition.
This is easy then.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to do the next one, Alex. So the next
Oh,
one
what
is
sounds a
clausal.
clausal.
Because, and
I
this
should
is
know
not going to
something.
be because of, because that'll make it preposition. So it's got to be because, and then you need a verb in here. Because,
Because smelly Robin. Because wait, he was pleased.
what did
Because
he do? Because smelly
because
Robin.
because Robin because Robin slipped.
Okay, he was pleased.
Yeah. Maybe he wanted a trip.
Do you want to put smelly Robin?
I guess, yeah, just to make it fun.
I don't know why you said that, but maybe it's smelly in your car right now. I don't know.
No, I just said that because I didn't know what to put as a verb.
That works though, because smelly Robin slipped, he was pleased.
But no,
So,
it doesn't smell unless we pass by my grandma's house because there's a lot of dairy cows there.
yeah, there you go. That always smells great.
And it smells in the car, but only like for a little bit.
Kristen, how about the next one? This one's a prepositional. So no verb. We're not gonna add a verb here, but without blank, he seemed troubled. And here's I forgot to remind you guys in the margin here is some help if you want to pick one of those. So you're gonna look at the nouns. Without blank, without blank, he seemed troubled.
Without his bow and arrow.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even see the nouns until after I said that.
Yeah, that does kind of help. So you guys can choose from the list or make up your own, either way. The next one is for Reagan. This is going to be clausal, so you will need a verb in this one. As blank, Robin lost his balance.
As he was running, Robin lost his balance.
Okay. As he was running. Good. And then Dominic, the next one is preposition. So choose a noun, one of the nouns or make up your own. Past blank, a fawn stood quietly.
A apple tree.
Okay, good. Past an apple tree, a fawn stood quietly. And then the next one, Abby, when blank, it was safe.
When unnoticed, it was safe.
When unnoticed. Okay, so I think you need a verb though, so that doesn't quite work. Unless you said when he was unnoticed, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
When he was unnoticed.
when he was unnoticed. It's a good one because you need a subject and a verb to go with the clause. Where are we at? Let's see, back to Tyler. Because of, this is prepositional because of that word of right there. So because of blank, you're going to need a noun. Robin was tired.
Because of his competition, Robin was tired.
Good. And the last one for Alex, after this is a clause, so you'll need a verb in here. After blank, he knew it was a mistake.
After after Robin after Robin after Robin slipped.
After Robin
Alex, you
slipped.
already used slip.
No, I did that because like because he slipped, he was pleased, and then he realized it was a mistake.
Well, what's another word for slipped so that we can change it up a little?
Fell.
There you go. Let's do that. After Robin fell, he knew it was a mistake.
He thought it was tough when he slipped, but then he realized it was just like negative oral loss.
All right, so we're not going to do the next practice page, but you will do, this is week 27. You can see at the top here. So you guys are going to finish week 26 and do week 27. And watch out for those adjectives. You got to decide if you need commas or no commas in those. And that's it for the grammar for today. So we are gonna look kind of quickly because we're already running out of time. That was a lot to go over, but I'm gonna put in the chat again the link to the test, the practice test right now. Okay. Yes, Kristen.
Do I leave now?
You can, it's up to you. You can hang out and listen because I know you're not in California. So
No fair. We want to move
I know
to.
you want to move. I know. Move to
We could literally
Alabama.
move to Arizona, and it still wouldn't be. It's like an 8-hour drive, 4-hour drive. 8-hour drive, 6
There you
hours.
go.
But it's up to you, Kristen. You can
I
stay.
did.
All righty.
Bye.
Do you
Okay,
want me
bye.
to
I don't blame you. See you after Easter.
do
All
you
right.
want me to go? Because I can't do it on my iPad.
Oh, no, I want you to stay so you can at least see it. You don't have
Share
to
the
do it.
screen. Share the screen.
I will. Calm down. I put the link in the chat. If you can log in, log in. If you can't, that's okay. You can just watch the screen here. We don't have much time, so we're going to do this kind of quick. All right. So once you see this page, you're just going to log in as guest, continue as guest session. I'm going to go kind of quick. So let me know if you have any questions. Today, we are going to select grade 8. Regardless of your grade, everybody's going to select grade 8. I want to show you what that one looks like, grade 8. Select the first pink box that says Smarter Balanced Practice Test. You guys okay? I'm going to keep going unless you wave me down over there. Okay, so it's the second pink, lighter pink box. It's the one that says Start Grade 8 ELA Performance Task. I know some of you are not in 8th grade. That's okay. It's all good practice for everybody. Okay, so go ahead and click Select. After you pick grade 8, check your sound.
They actually gotta make like a different. I mean, it's iconic the beat, but they should play a different song.
It would be cool if we could, but
Yeah.
anyway, I could play the sound and video and then click begin test now and then give me a thumbs up if you see student directions, penny, argumentative performance task. Sweet. You guys are awesome. Way better than my last class, I'm just gonna say. They were like, wait,
On
where are we?
YouTube.
This
Let's
is
see
going
this.
on YouTube.
Yeah. Nobody knows what my last class was, so there you go.
But the last class that might look at this class are gonna be like, oh, that class.
Yeah, the others might accidentally click on this and then watch this one, and then
All right,
they're
calm
gonna
down.
drop the class, and
Sorry,
then
other class.
Stop. All right, look at the task. It's on the left here. Penny, argumentative performance task. So we are talking about the penny, which is the coin that we use.
Not
And
in
argumentative means that it's debatable. Okay. When you might get an assignment like this on the test that's argumentative, and that just means you have to pick a side. Okay. So this is talking about right here under task. In recent years, a heated debate has emerged about money in the United States. This particular debate is not about big economic issues, though. Surprisingly, it is about the economic pros and cons of producing and using pennies. The controversy surrounding the production and continued use of pennies is one of the topics that will be part of an upcoming website project for your history class. As part of your initial research, you have uncovered 4 sources about the historical and economic impact of the penny. After you've reviewed the sources, you will answer questions, and it kind of gives you some instructions right there. So this is an argumentative essay, meaning after you read everything, do you agree that we should stop producing the penny, or do you disagree and that you believe we should keep producing the penny? That's how you have to take one side or the other. Now, some students say, well, can I kind of like both answers? Like I like some reasons for stopping production, but I do like the idea of keeping the penny. You can't, for a test like this, you have to pick one or the other. You can't be in the middle. Either you agree with stopping the penny or you disagree with stopping the penny. Okay. But I forgot something. I totally forgot. When you guys log in, we talked about this last week. Your teacher says you may now begin the test. What is actually the first thing you should do? What is the very first thing you should do, Tyler?
So you're gonna sit down, grab your paper, make your keyword outline, put your dress up openers, put your band word, put your clausal openers, and all that.
Okay, good. You said that kind of in a backwards order, but that's okay if you do it that
Yeah,
direction.
yeah, yeah. That's
Fine.
everything you need, though,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And Abby has something to add. Go ahead, Abby.
Um, Shorten that up, and all you gotta do is you gotta make your checklist and then make your KWO.
Yes, that's basically what Tyler said, and that's correct. Good job, both of you. So you want to write that down before you even read the instructions. Your teacher says you may now begin the test. Boom, sit down and checklist. All your dress ups, openers, band words. Yeah, if you can remember those, that's not super crucial, but it does make your writing sound better if you avoid those. Um, and make yourself a little checklist. Now, if you forget something, like you forget who which clause is, that's okay. Don't stress over that. Just put down what you can remember, okay? And then the KWO, that's really important. For yours, you guys are writing 5 paragraphs. So you would write out 5 Roman numerals and 5 of your details under each. So Roman numeral 1 through 5, and not topic clincher for introduction, but your body paragraphs, yes. So Roman numeral 2, 1 through 5, topic clincher. Roman numeral 3, 1 through 5, topic clincher. Roman numeral 4, 1 through 5, topic clincher. And then your conclusion, 1 through 5. So, any questions about that? It's really important you use that. Okay, good. And as you're reading through all this, remember, keep track of things like information that you want to include. You can highlight. We talked about the highlight feature last time. That's helpful. Okay, so you got all that set up and now you're here. Now you read the task. Now we're going to look over here on number 1, this part right here. It's basically saying just source number 4 describes, by the way, you have 4 sources. Last time you only had 3. So you can handle this in 2 different ways. You can still do 5 paragraphs, but combine one of the sources. Because remember, you're only having 3 body paragraphs if you do 5 paragraphs. Or you may do 4 body paragraphs. If you have 4 body paragraphs and you add an introduction and a conclusion, that's a total of 6 paragraphs. I'm just saying 6 paragraphs is great. 5 paragraphs is great as long as you get the information in there. But when you have 4 sources, you have to use all 4 sources. So in my mind, for me personally, I would do 4 body paragraphs. That way I make sure I got all the information from each of those. And then an introduction and conclusion. Don't worry. I know it's going to take a long time. And this is probably the longest test of all the tests. That's why I'm helping you guys with this. Be prepared to be sitting there for a long time. Just going to say it. Okay. Okay. And if you type with your index fingers, you type with your pointing fingers, it's going to take you even longer. But that's okay. Keep going. Don't give up on it. Keep going. If you need more time than your Zoom call, reschedule another time because the test itself is not timed. So you can just do another appointment and keep going. All right. So it says source 4 describes how some people want to eliminate the penny from the United States economy. Explain how the information in source 2 adds to the reader's understanding of potential effects of eliminating pennies in the United States. Give 2 details from source 2 to support your explanation. So at minimum, this is 3 sentences. But at maximum, it's 6 sentences. So it's not more. This is the short answer area right here. You have to have at least 3. And your first sentence is basically going to copy what they're asking. Explain how the information it says explain how the information in source 2 adds to the reader's understanding of the potential effects of eliminating pennies in the United States. Take that and make your own sentence. I want everybody to do that in the box. You can change it to take off, explain how, and just type in the information. Just copy that sentence. It won't let you cut and paste, so don't even try. I I heard your thoughts, Tyler and Alex.
I don't copy and paste. I write
I'm
it
just
out
kidding.
myself.
Me
I'm
Thinking
neither.
like a
teasing.
run
I'm
into
just
my
teasing. I'm
teacher.
teasing. I'm
Wow.
teasing.
You
Man, I didn't mean to offend. I'm sorry.
it's not like we're all about the copy and paste.
The information in source 2 adds to the reader's understanding. Go ahead and just type that in.
I
Uh,
only do that with my own answers, and it
oh,
still doesn't work on this specific thing. But if I'm like typing in a Google Doc and I need to put it in the Zoom too, I'll copy and paste my own answer.
well, it's good to be honest. There you go. There it is. The first sentence is so easy because you're basically taking what they want you to do and you're putting it into a sentence. So basically, you're going to start, and that gets you points. I promise you, this gets you points. It's crazy. Students don't know this, but you guys are lucky you have me to tell you to do that. And boom, you got some points right there. So the information in source number 2 adds to the reader's understanding of the potential effects of eliminating, whoops, if you got to spell pennies. That reminds me, pennies in the United States. Please remember this. Read it back to yourself, just like I did. I made a spelling error. I did not see it until I read it back to myself. And you can whisper read it out loud. It's fine. You'll be on mute probably anyway. But you can just kind of mumble read it, but make sure you read it back because there's oftentimes little mistakes in there.
What do you mean mumble read it on? Oh, are you talking about like for those that do
To
the
yourself.
online Zoom
Are you
Online
testing?
Zoom.
saying mumble read?
Okay.
Yeah, like this. Like if I was on Zoom and I was checking my sentence, I would say the information in source 2 adds to the reader's understanding. You kind of just kind of so you just kind of that's what I mean by that. Just read it back. Now you're gonna say for example, in source 2, whoops, whoa.
That's too bad it doesn't do like in Google Docs, like where if you spell something wrong, it automatically fixes it for you.
Nope, this
Yeah,
is not like that at all.
it's not, but you know
But
what?
it
It's
makes it quicker for you, so you don't have to go back and then fix it.
so
Yeah.
yeah. And by the way, it's not a spelling test. So if you mess up on spelling, it's not going to take away points from you. Okay. So just remember that. You will have, I think there is a spelling portion of the test. Good luck on that. I know I'm terrible at spelling. You guys already know that. But here, I arrived. I made it. So don't let that stop you. You just keep going. Just sound it out. Do your best. Actually, on the left here, there's lots of words. You might be able to find the word you're looking for and just copy it. What, Tyler? What are you laughing at?
No one laugh at this. So you know when you do spelling bees and like you study so hard for it, like so hard and then pressure hits you and you screw up?
Yeah?
I screwed up on the very first round. I
Oh,
spelled parent wrong
oh
because I
no.
second guessed myself, so I put two E's. I did it Parenet.
Oh
That's exactly how I spelled it. And I was like, no,
it was
I
your
knew it right
nerves.
away too. It was so bad.
Oh, that's the worst. That is the worst. Ugh, I'm so sorry, Tyler. I know about nerves. Nerves do get the best of you. It's like your brain gets totally scrambled when you're nervous. Mine does. Well, you're still a great student. There's always next year with the spelling.
Nope, because that one only went to eighth grade.
Oh, okay.
Lost my only chance.
Well,
And the guy that won last year won this year too, so
Oh man, that's
Maybe
tough.
he'll, yeah,
You get those people that are just they love spelling and they're so good at it. Yeah. So
yeah, he won off like anonymous or something.
um yeah, just know that anytime that happens to anybody, I'm just going to say this for everybody and even myself, it's a good reminder for me. That does not define you, okay? Because I've messed up before. I've messed up in public before by accident, and but just know that that doesn't define you. Sometimes the nerves get the best of us, and we just got to move on with life. So, anyway, I'm going to come back to this because source two is here. If you scroll down to source two, is the penny worth it? We don't really have time left to read the whole thing, but for the sake of time, you can skim it and pick out something to put here for uh, as something that supports eliminating the penny. So that's what you're looking for. Potential effects of eliminating the penny in the United States. So how would that affect the penny or people? So you can skim through that and see if you can find something. But actually, on the day of the test, read everything. Read everything, all the instructions, every part of it. Okay. But since we're running out of time, we'll just kind of skim it and look for something that would support that. And give me a thumbs up if you find a sentence that talks about eliminating the penny and how that would affect the United States.
But they already retired it.
They did. I know. Somebody else said that too. Yes, they did. Well, so we're going to pretend like they haven't yet. This is probably an old practice test. All right, for the sake of time, I'm going to help you guys because I just found a spot. So go down to the paragraph um, that starts with not only does he believe. You guys see that down there? So not only does he believe that it will have an insignificant impact on prices, but Waples, I think is how you say his name, seems to think that eliminating the penny will save time too. And you could practice highlighting that. Highlight the next sentence too. He asserts that this time saved is even more valuable than eliminating a potential impact on rounding prices. I'm highlighting both of those, like half of that first sentence, and then the second sentence. And that you can put into your own words in your box. So, for example, in source two, it states that, and we could refer to that guy's name. If I look back, it's Dr. Robert Waples. It's a
I
weird
feel
last name.
sorry for like Abraham Lincoln. He's like, I'm on the penny, and you guys disrespect my face on the penny. I mean, he's still on the $5 bill, but still.
Yeah. So there's an example. You don't have to copy this exactly, but this is what I would put. For example, in source two, it states that I'm going to put it that here. Dr. Robert Waples believes, no, I don't like that there because I already have that. I'll take that out. This is why we read it back. For example, in source number two, it states Dr. Robert Waples believes that eliminating the penny will save time. And then I'm going to look at that next sentence and add another sentence about that. He says time saved is even more valuable than a potential impact on rounding prices. So I might say something like, he thinks that time is valuable. Something like that. I'm just brainstorming with you, but that's an example of what you can do. And then you could say another example is ... We are out of time, but this is just another little practice, just a simple practice on this. You would finish up this one, also go over to number 2, and you've got this one's a little bit different. You're only looking at source 3, source 4, both or neither. You might see that on the test. So you're not going to worry about 1 and 2 for this part. You're going to focus on source 3 and 4. So make sure you pay attention to what they want you to look for. These are the claims here. And you would check the box that goes with that claim. All right, you guys. I wish I could talk to you more about it, but you're probably like, yes, let's go. Anyway, happy Easter. Have a great spring break. Do those 2 weeks of grammar. Try to get it done before Friday. And then you're nothing, at least for my class. Sorry, Tyler. At least I'm nice to you. And then I'll see you after Easter. Okay, you guys? Good job today. Bye.